What's up, my dudes? We got us a little mud tester on the Northwest Supercross track of the playground compound. Yeah, don't forget you guys can go follow me up or add me up on Snapchat if you want to at Spencer Turley, no space, no capital, and I'll add you back up on that. But I just want to go in here and do a little full race like this. So this is a full main event. We've got obviously 20-minute plus a lap main event on this short little Supercross track. This is obviously the more backyard vibe kind of Supercross track in the mud version, and I got it set on night as well, so kind of cool. We'll see what all happens here. We'll see how much the track changes over time. Not really sure if it's going to do a whole lot or not. Sometimes the tracks do in this game, sometimes they don't. It just kind of depends on which track you're on, but dude, this little position thing over here to the left is kind of annoying. Can I turn that off? Let me see real quick. Okay, cool. So thank God Milestone put enough options in there where you can turn all that off. And I did actually see the option in there to where you can turn off the actions and maneuvers. So shout out to you for that one. That's a dandy for sure. Okay. So it's a lot of times if you want to have like a certain HUD thing or a whatever like that, as long as you give us the option to turn it off, then I don't have any problem with it, right? It's not that big of a deal. But it's when you don't give us that option, or like you force us to whip by turning both our thumbsticks the opposite directions, and you don't give us the option to change it like it is in every single other motocross game. That's when I have the issue more than when you go in there and you have something that's kind of weird, but you give us the option. That's okay. That's fine with me, right? So you can see the rut's kind of getting developed a little bit. Obviously in the mud, it's going to be quite a bit of a different animal, but I still wanted to go in here and kind of test this out a little bit. So, okay. And obviously that you guys know in this game, it's going to do a lot visually, but how much it actually physically changes it is a different animal with these milestone games, right? But I really like this track right here. I think the whole design around the off-track side of it and just the whole vibe of it, really, really cool. So even though I picked the nighttime version, we're almost in like a damn twilight. Is this even the nighttime version? What the hell? I think it is, right? Huh. I think it is, because if it was daytime, it'd be way more lit up than this. I think what it is when you get it on the nighttime, but it's raining, it kind of makes that weird, like, cloud. Look how light lit up that is. Kind of gives you that weird, like tornado, where it kind of lights up the sky a little bit from the, I don't even know how to really explain that, but that's kind of what it feels like to me right now. It doesn't even really feel like nighttime, but when you have it on these cyclic weather and it's got the rain and then sometimes it can get really dark with the rain and then the actual lights come on the track right here and it looks really cool. Dude, this does not feel like nighttime at all. What the hell? Let me go back. I've got to look at this for my own sake and just make sure I have it set on nighttime. Okay, that's definitely not nighttime, but whatever, we'll run with it. I think what it does is when you run an actual race like this, it's giving me a random time of day for some reason. Like, it's not giving me the time of day that I picked before I went in there on the free ride mode. You know what I mean? It's giving me like a complete, because obviously this is definitely not night mode, nighttime mode. Wow. Either way, we'll run it. I don't give a hoot. It's okay. I just know how cool this track can look when it gets really dark and you have the rain going and you got all the little lights on the track. That looks so sick when you get it like that. That's what I was trying to do before there, but didn't really work out too well. So either way, let's just run a couple laps. Just want to see what the track does. But yeah, guys, either way, shout out to Milestone, for doing these tracks, or these tracks on this track. I'll get it right here in a second. Shout out to him. I just wish it would have been in the base version, man. That's all I can say about it. But either way, we'll see what they can do on that next motocross game. Got high hopes for him. We gonna see, boy. You know what I'm saying? So this track already, like the inside lines, you can kind of see that on the inside, how it already kind of has those ruts up the inside that's there from like lap one. Holy God. I did a damn stoppie on the friggin' face of one of those whoops of the dragons back there. Pretty cool in the mud mode, though, because you really got to sweep out the outside lines on some of these jumps to make sure you hit them good enough. What the? Tell me I was off track right there. Lying ass motherfucker. So it's a little harder to hit that quad in right there, right, when it's got the mud on. Because with the mud in this game, it's really just makes it more friction-y. It doesn't really make it slicker, to be completely honest with you. It's just more friction. So it's kind of like you turned a 450 into a 250 and a 250 into a 125. You know what I'm getting at? Like, it just kind of cuts down your power a little bit. It's all it really does here. But it's definitely visually making more ruts up the face of that right there. You can kind of see it. Maybe we can rut up the face of that finish line a little bit and see what that does. But yeah, you're not really going to be able to go for that quad. You're just not going to be able to do it. Let's see. Obviously, the whoops are getting like damn near unrealistic chewed up right now. But it's so weird how it like chews it up visually, but you don't really feel it on the track. Like the ruts themselves just feel too soft. And it's not, I mean, I understand we're in the mud mode, guys. Like, don't get it twisted. I get it. But even when you're not in the mud mode, it still has that kind of feel to it where it's like, I'm going to pop off right here because I hit those. Oh, didn't. Still has that feeling where it's like you can have ruts all over the goddamn place, but it doesn't even really feel like you're riding on ruts for some reason. It doesn't have the physical feeling of actually hitting ruts and cross-rutting and digging down in a rut for whatever reason. Even though they're all over the place, looks like, oh my God, that's crazy. That visually super rutted up track, but it just doesn't. I mean, might as well be a perfectly smooth track around the corner because that's what it feels like. I hate to say it, but that's what it feels like, which is more understandable on a mud track than a dry track, but that's what I'm getting at is it feels that way even on the dry tracks of this game. So, you know, but we'll be running a crap load of laps on this short track like this. Let's see here. Getting behind people, doing a little bumper car simulator. Okay. But yeah, those whoops look like they would just be so chewed up, but they're really not. They're just not hard to ride in, you know? I think Milestone really needs to focus on that with their next game, making their, just that overall whoop difficulty, roller, dragon's backy difficulty, just a little bit more, right? Just that more ability of where it's actually affecting the bike, right? It's actually like making you bounce when you hit roughness and not just glide over it like it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's got to have a little bit more of a upsettingness to the bike than it does currently, in my opinion. The whoops just don't bounce you enough, you know? They don't upset the bike enough for it to be any sort of skill to it. So we're passing riders like they're standing still right here, boys. I don't even know what difficulty I have this set. I think I'd have it set on like hard or something like that, which I think there's one or two more difficulties above that. I don't know why I had it set on hard, but obviously I don't think I have it set on the highest difficulty right now, so that's why I'm lapping everybody real quick like this. I won't take the credit for it, guys. Reedy. You ever gonna retire, dog? Shit. Okay, so either way, yeah. Thought we was going to get a little more out of this mud tester, but it doesn't really look like it. It looks like this is about all she's going to do, honestly. Which it's rutting up right on those, you know, on-offs and on the faces of some of this, but, man, it's just so minute the way it changes the filling. Like, almost doesn't even change the filling of the track. So they really need to try to work on that on the next game, no doubt about it. But it looks cool. It's some eye candy, but eye candy only does so much. You know, you got to have some physical, actual gameplay changing feeling for it to really give you the full effect, right? It looks good, looks sexy, you know, whatever you want to call it, but it's just kind of lackluster on the physically actually doing something on the track. And all the off track looks sick. I love how you're kind of down in this little you know, quarry, compoundy, foundry type vibe thing going on here. It's pretty cool. Now that finish line right there is getting pretty rutted on the face, but even still, it just doesn't really feel like it's changed it any. I don't know. A little bit weird, but either way, guys, I'm going to probably cut this video off here. I thought I was going to be able to do a few more laps, and it change more, but I think we're just to that point where it's just kind of done all she's going to do. So it's a little bit pointless, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you get so many laps in and what the hell? Dude, just totally rolling that jump, man. Got arm pump, bro. Can't handle it. Got to slow down. We'll pull off the track. So yeah, I mean, you can see right there on the face, rutting her up a little, but not a whole lot. So either way, that's about the moral of the story to Supercross 2. Most of your mud tracks are not going to rut up a lot over time. I'll try to get on one of these like dry versions and run a bunch of laps on it. We'll maybe do a different, rut tester video on that. See if any of those tracks really change. It really depends on how much of like a loam sand track it is. Those seem to do a lot more ruttiness than the like standard dirt tracks in the game. So I don't know, may just get lucky and one of them be more of a rutty track like that or whatnot. May just be the case. I'm not really sure. But as far as this one, not really doing a whole lot over time, man. So either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.